What's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's pop-up episode on YouTube, outdoor series, something y'all wanted to do. So here we are, we're doing it. But can somebody comment and let me know if they can hear me? Because we're having a little bit of audio issue on our end, which we don't need as long as you guys can hear us. So somebody just let us know y'all can hear us real quick. I don't know if anybody can hear us, Walt.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can have the.
Yep. Okay. Good. We're good. All right. What's up, Fat Man? What's up, Suzanne? How are y'all tonight? Thank y'all for joining us. So, little different tonight. I got my one of my best friends and brother-in-law with me, Walter Matthews. We grew up hunting together and stuff, and so with this being an outdoor series, thought it'd be nice to just kind of sit around the porch and just kind of talk like what we talked about doing. So, Ty's not with us tonight. He may jump on here in a few minutes. If he does, that's cool. But here we are. This is what you guys wanted to do. What's up, John? And so we're here. So, how's everybody tonight? There's not a whole lot of people on here. I'm going to post to a Facebook group and let them know that we're live. Let me tell them we live. And I just posted it. So this is our first ever YouTube live only. We tried it before and really couldn't get it to work. So giving it another try and something different than just a regular Texas Shark Radio feel with just me and Ty. We know we have changing of the season, so we want to provide content for y'all. So this is just a way for us to provide content. Just hanging out, talking about different things. I know, some of you guys wanted to talk about deer hunting and stuff, so thought it would be fitting for us to maybe talk about early season scouting and stuff. Some of you guys had hit me up this week, wanted to talk hunting and how I was been so successful in the national forest. Walter, he has too, and it's something that we do. And so, if you guys want to talk about it or not. If y'all do, y'all let us know. Or if y'all want to talk about something else, we talk about something else. This is just a open show. It's our first one. We don't really know how it's going to go, so we're just here for it. See how it works out. See if you guys like it. Get some interaction. We'll keep doing it. This is not too hot outside tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mosquitoes ain't biting.
Mm-hmm.
Before
They bite all day.
Yeah, before long, it won't be long. We'll build a fire in that thing. It's supposed to get pretty cool this coming week.
Yep. Yep.
Supposed to cool down good.
And with cool weather, that brings what?
That brings a change in things.
It brings
sure.
movement.
Yeah.
It brings movement. Even though, I guess the deer, they sense it. They got a gland in their eye that
yeah, they got a short. Yeah, they got a. That's a good point. You said that. A lot of people don't know that. The fishing on Bolivar will be this weekend, headed down from Fort Worth. This should be pretty good. I know it's going to be really flat down there. Surf looks really nice this week, almost too nice. I mean, like a lake, like a swimming pool, basically. So, fishing is probably going to be pretty good. For sure, be pretty good down there. Redfish are probably going to pop off. I know late next week it's supposed to be really cool here. I think we're supposed to have some 50-degree nights, so that'll kick them redfish off for sure. We had to go back what you was talking about. Well, that gland in their eyes, it detects the shortening of the days, and they're short day driven, what they call short light cycle animals. So when that light starts cycling down and days start getting shorter, it naturally kicks their reproductive glands in gear, so to say.
So let's talk about the right time to scout.
Yeah, a lot of people have asked me
what to look for when you're scouting.
Yeah.
Especially in the national forest. I'm a national forest hunter. You've got private land and you national forest hunt.
Well, I mean, even on private land, scouting's very important. Okay, give us a minute. My lights just got unplugged. Give me 2 seconds.
There we go.
All right.
Back in business.
Sorry about that. Kid done hit the cord up in there. Kids. But yeah, to get back to what we was talking about, scouting's important on private land just as much as it is on national forest. Scouting's important all the time.
You know,
When you're talking about deer hunting.
You know, on that private land, you know, you got pretty much a designated area, and you just kind of go, you know, designated areas on that private land that the deer. I mean, you can monitor the deer a little easier.
Yeah, you can. But the one thing about it is that a lot of people fail to understand is them deer will find you. They will find your stands.
Yeah.
People don't realize. Now, I'm not talking about 99% of deer. I'm talking about the 1% of deer that you're actually hunting, which is the mature whitetail, smart, top of his game, apex. And I think, you know, while we're here, and we said this the other night, I think that's what leads me to shark fishing too, is the apex part of it. That's the highest you can go in hunting or fishing is the apex, smartest predator to fooling. We do it in fishing, we do it in hunting. But so John said public land. So would love to learn something on hunting public. So if I could give you the first tip on hunting public, find the people. Hunt the people first. Now, I know that sounds crazy when I say that. But what you want to do is you want to find where they're not. Okay? And then once you find where they're not, then find when they are in there the most. 99% of the time, you're going to find out that those people are in there from Friday evening to Sunday evening. So I'm a midweek hunter. I very seldom do I hunt the national forest on a weekend, unless it's late season and I'm just, you know, out for the day. But if I'm seriously hunting deer, if I'm seriously hunting bucks, I'm hunting midweek and I'm hunting midday. I'm hunting midday.
And that midday thing, it pays off. And man, did it ever pay off in 2020.
Yes, it did.
You know, a lot of you guys, you know, and ladies don't know, Lukey here has, he's been in the centerfold of Whitetail Magazine, numerous magazines in Texas here, papers. In 2020, me and him we were just going to scout an area in the national forest. That's all we were doing. We were just going to scout.
Yeah, so scouting can pay off.
It can pay off. It can. And we get to the spot we're going, and like I said, we were not hunting at the moment. We were a brand new spot, just going in there to check it out. This is about 10:30 in the morning. So we head out and we get to an area, and we're not being quiet. We're not being quiet. We get to an area.
Yes, they do, Alan.
What's that?
He said, good advice. He said, hunt where nobody else is. Big bucks avoid activity.
Yeah.
So
you got to find them low-lying areas where people just think
they're just not.
They're not wanting to go.
And then we'll touch on this after Walter gets done with his little story. I'll touch on what to do when you find where you think a buck's at, because that's another part of it that a lot of people fail in. And they fail in that part. So we'll touch on that in a minute. But I'll let Walter finish his story.
Well, with this, you know, so we get to an area where the palmettos are real thick. It's a little bit of a thick area, actually.
Now, we're in a spot, though, that my dad, who is a deer hunting legend in his own right, for those who know him, told us to go there.
Yeah.
That's important. He told us where to go.
Right.
We had a little bit of inside advice on what area to go. So that's why we were in that spot. So advice matters too.
Yeah.
Talking, hunting matters. It all matters. And I touched on this last week, and I think I've said this before. The reason that we have not done the reason that I don't get involved in the hunting like I used to be, because I was a guide for many years, a corporate guide. And the reason I don't do that is because of a lot of egos in hunting. So if we're gonna talk hunting, that's fine. But I just hope on some of the egos don't bleed out, man. It's
You're
just,
gonna have them guys, you're gonna have them guys. So.
but that's why I've never talked about me publicly being a big hunter, and well, kind of well known, I guess. I'm not ringing my own bell, but they've said it twice. I've never talked about it, but yeah.
I mean, the story speaks for itself, really. I mean,
several different stories at that.
Yeah, we got to this area, and we decided to split off. He went to the left, and I went straight up the trail and turned to the right. And as I'm sitting there, I'm getting, I'm seeing deer. I've got a buck in my scope.
Now we stayed together for a while. We split.
That's what I'm saying.
We split on a little draw. Little draw split, and we went two ways on that little draw.
And it wasn't. I mean, dude, it wasn't 30 minutes that we'd been split off. I'm sitting there. I've got a bead on a buck. He's just, his rear end is facing me. I could never get the right shot. And just as soon as he steps out of view, I hear Lukey's shot. And then 2 seconds later, another shot. And then about 3 to 5 seconds later, another shot. And in my mind, I'm thinking he got into some hogs or something. In that thick of an area, you ain't just getting those shots off like that. So I kind of gave out a little whoo because he was real close. And he hollered at me, "Come on, I got him down." And I didn't know what he'd gotten. I thought he just shot a big old hog, that many shots. So I get over there, and y'all, when I tell you, I got in behind him, and I seen the bushes flopping and dust kicking up. He was on the other side of a log, and he was grunting, and I mean, he was pitching a fit. He was sure enough mad.
Well, I had done pumped all I had into him.
Yeah,
I hit him.
My gun.
I hit him with the 4 shell, and
yeah,
it wasn't there.
Well, I mean, he needed my gun. He was
so he
was out of bullets. So I get over there, and this deer, he raised his head up, and when I seen his horns, I was
flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
I had got a good look at him when he turned on the first initial time I popped him when he turned. That is when I first got when he was coming around me, because when he come in, he come behind me less than 10 yards. He literally walked right behind me. And I'm sitting, I was just sitting beside that pine tree. I was in the open.
Yep.
My gun was actually leaned up against the tree.
Yeah.
And so when I looked back like this, I seen his rear end literally right there. And when I turned like this, I seen his first G2 on that left side. And it was long. And that was really all the confirmation after what I had seen on the body. And that's all the confirmation I needed.
Yeah.
On that buck.
I would imagine. I'd have unloaded my weapon as well.
And so he turned out, so I ain't gonna brag on him, but he was a pretty special deer.
Well,
he come out to be 161-inch 8-point.
Yeah.
He's the biggest 8-point ever taken off of Texas public land. He's the biggest 8-point to ever hold first place in any region in Texas through the Texas Buck Registry program, which is the big buck program.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he made over 20 magazines. I mean, 20 news. Well, almost every newspaper in Texas.
Yeah,
including the Houston Chronicle.
Definitely. Yeah.
He made 2 or 3 different magazines that we know of.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a pretty important deer.
And the centerfold of Texas, North American Whitetail, the biggest magazine.
Yeah. So you guys you
US.
can look him up. He's
actually all you got to do is
June.
Google Lukey Smith buck, and bam.
Yeah, pictures of him will come up
immediately.
Yeah, they'll come up. But you can Google that. I mean, you can look at that North American Whitetail, which is the magazine that really meant the most to me because it's the biggest stage in whitetail.
Yeah.
What else could you ask for? I mean, I'm not a corporate hunter. I'm just a hard hunter. And I've told people this before. Everything, even though I was on a scouting trip, we still play by the rules. Mm-hmm. We still play the wind. We still play the scent. Mm-hmm. We still play the direction. We've looked at maps. We know what pressure areas we can go. We had it figured out where we thought some deer would be. And we were right that day.
Mm-hmm.
We with my dad's advice, we was absolutely right that day.
And that goes back to scouting.
Yeah, it goes back to scouting. We was on a scouting trip that day. We was on a hunting / scouting trip. Because we usually don't scout during deer season.
Usually
don't do that. So
But
This
we was in a new area.
Yeah, so this particular client was like, well, let's go walk in, just see what it's like. And we get in there and we're like, well, hell, we're here. We might as well. And y'all, we're talking 12 o'clock. I shot that deer on the dot.
On the
12 o'clock.
dot, 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock.
Midday.
So
they're in there.
They're in there, but 30 plus years of deer hunting come together in a 15, 20 second span.
Yeah.
To capitalize on that, or else it wouldn't have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because even where I was at, one thing we had working for us that day, and this is important for scouting too. One thing we had working for us that day was the thermals.
Yeah.
So in the morning when you have that daylight dip, that is the sun pushing air down from the top. So your scent goes down and to the ground on nose level. If you're scouting midday, this is important, you guys make a note of this. Scout midday when the heat has gotten up and the thermals and the humidity are lifting. Okay. So when you're in a place, your scent is lifting straight above your head. And that day we had that in effect, which is why we were so close to deer. It had just rained that day. It was 85 degrees. The thermals and the humidity was literally kicking that day.
Mm-hmm.
We were almost scent-wise invisible in that woods.
Yeah.
And so, you guys use that when you're scouting. So let's go back to scouting what he said a while ago. So yeah, low pressure areas. Search low pressure areas first.
Mm-hmm.
Use your maps. We use Onyx.
Yeah,
we use Onyx and Hunt Stand. Hunt Stand.
Yeah.
Hunt Stand is the one we use a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Use those apps.
That Hunt Stand specifically tells you what direction.
We're not paid by them anyway. By the way, not paid sponsors by nobody we're talking about.
Yeah, but that Hunt Stand it gives you the wind direction.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of information. So play your wind. When you find an area, let's just say you find an area on a map that's this big, and you narrow it down to a spot that's this big. What's a good bedding area? It's got good food around it. It's a spot where a big mature buck would bed. Okay, that's the last place you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to go in that area. Make you a search pattern around that area. When you go in the scout, find which way your wind's blowing and scout the area that you can on the wind that you got. Make sure that your scent never blows into that bedding area of where you think a buck might be locked down, either with does. If does are going to go there and hold cover when they're rutting, they'll go hold cover. That's why they disappear. A lot of people don't know that. When them does go disappear, they're holding cover. If you find a place where you think that a doe will go, a thick spot where a doe will go and hold cover from a buck, when they're not ready to receive, they will lay.
Yeah.
And that buck will stay with them. One thing you don't want to do is ever blow that area. So find your feeding patterns, your travel routes, your enters in and out of that area. Find your major game trails and hunt them. And hunt them on the right wind.
And never, ever just think that you can sneak down into the area.
No, don't do it.
Not in your favor.
Don't do it.
You're going to get blowed out of there.
Now, if you got the place figured out where you can hunt that bedding area, where he may come out of that bedding area or go back into that bedding area with a doe, hunt that area that you can on that wind. Listen, if the wind ain't right and you want to go hunting so bad, the number one thing to do is not go. How many times have we set for? Listen, we have set for days before on areas that we think bucks are in, or that we know bucks are in, because we knew they were there. We set for days just waiting on that wind to get right to access that area. Everything's right, the weather's right, we got to drive, gear's loaded, and you can't go. You can't go.
No, the wind.
You cannot hunt that deer. It's
and don't think just because you get a cold snap also. You wake up and it's really cold outside. Don't think that the deer is just going to be up and moving.
Yeah.
Because that ain't the case either.
No, and daylight and dark is something that everybody hunts. That if you're hunting mature deer, you are not hunting daylight and dark.
No.
You're hunting different times of the day. You're hunting different moon phases. You're hunting different feeding patterns.
Yep.
A lot of people don't know, and I tell y'all this: deer move in 4-hour sections.
They do.
They're up move for 4 hours or down for 4 hours, up and down 4 hours. So
and
if you
got
go
a 7 mile
five, by the way, average of 5 square miles of range. Okay, so you got to hope he's in that area, that one little area in that range of his that he's in lockdown with a doe.
Yep.
The odds are astronomical.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to be on your game.
Now you can go in there and kill a team, but we're talking about 5-year-old plus mature deer that are going to score over 140 plus easy.
140.
That's our we're hunting deer like that. We're at 140 inches, or we ain't hunting, or he ain't ready yet. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't know, it's a sore subject. I ain't no deer ever showed me no ID when I killed him.
No.
He's never had an ID on him.
No.
He's never had a date of birth tattooed on him.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like that. So I absolutely hate the age factor.
Yeah.
And I understand if he's a 1-year-old, you can tell. But that deer, and especially if you're hunting public, and he's holding 140 inches or better,
oh, man.
if you ain't going to kill him, the next man is.
Yeah.
Okay, on a ranch, that might work. But in public land, do not go hunting a 5-year-old deer. Go hunting a deer with a 140-inch rack. You're going to find those 4, 5, 6, and 7-year-old deer. If that's what you're hunting, you're going to find that quality of deer. So, but a lot of guys will go in and they'll kill the first legal 14-inch regular. And hey, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because that's the drive that
gets them out of the area.
Not at, well, they're done for the year.
Yeah, they're done. You know what I mean? That gets them out of the area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're done for the year at that point. So yeah, those are all good points. But
you know what? Last year I shot a deer that was over 5, and I shot a deer that was probably about 2.5.
Right.
You know, seriously.
Did you get excited on both deer?
Both deer.
Okay, well then it don't matter then.
You know?
It don't matter at that point. And a lot of people that's part of that stuff in deer hunting that I don't really like right now, man.
Yeah.
Aging score and he's got to be this. No, he don't.
Yeah.
He's got to get your blood pumping at maximum level and water your mouth when you eat him.
Yeah, yeah. And just be legal. And that's it.
My biggest deer has been killed when everyone else was back camp. Yeah, absolutely, Alan.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the type of deer that we're talking about, probably the type that you're killing, knows that. I'm a firm believer in these deer know things. They're not stupid.
They know what time of year it is.
They are not stupid.
You know, they know while they're out there hustling up them does that there's bigger predators in the wood than, you know, coyotes and bobcats.
Right.
You know, and that's us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
Yeah, and it's the time of year for you guys to get out and scout and hunt. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's the time. It's the time of year to do it.
And this is bow season. Get out there, find where they're you know, the heaviest travel trails. You know,
With low people.
with low people.
Now, I have a minimum truck distance. You gotta. I mean, we have a minimum truck distance too. I mean, that's another thing we need to talk about.
Yeah.
You're not going to kill these deer up on the road.
You're not going to kill them 500 yards out.
You're not. I'm sorry.
You know,
It's been done very few far between. It has happened. Don't get us wrong. There's been good deer killed 200 yards from the truck. Don't get me wrong.
Both deer I killed last year was 1,700 to 1,800 yards from the truck.
So I have a 1,000-yard minimum before I even look up and start thinking I'm where I need to be.
Yeah.
I have a 1,000-yard minimum.
Your deer was almost 1,200 yards out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was almost 1,200.
Well, by the time we went around, though, we went 3,000 back in there almost.
No, when
straight drag to the truck, you know.
When I looked at the that's a whole nother story. When I looked at the hunt stand is what I was using, and it showed 1,180 something yards to the truck.
That's crazy. And we drug his ass that far.
Yeah, over logs, big logs.
Oh, man.
That was just laid down. Right
What's up, Bowser? What's up, dude?
You know, I mean, it was.
See, buddy. Thanks for tuning in over here.
It was a hard pull, and Lukey was worn out.
No, I was dead.
You know, he was just
dead.
flat worn out. You know, just simply from not only the adrenaline dump, but he went the wrong direction to get to the truck and went through a thicket where he was down on his dang hands and knees getting through there.
That we don't want to
bring that one up.
We don't want to talk about everything.
That was the most
we don't have to
funniest
talk
thing
about
ever.
everything, man.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. You know, but we were trying to save that meat, and we were so far in there to drag it over logs, just one after the other. So you know, scouting.
It's important, especially public land.
It is.
I know a lot of you guys are out of Houston and stuff, and Sam Houston is about where most people from
That's
that
the
area
closest
hunt.
place to
A
hunt.
lot of them come to the Davy Crockett too, and that's what we hunt is. We hunt the Davy Crockett.
Yep.
We're not gonna give away no spots or nothing. Don't
No.
think that, but
No.
we do hunt the Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
So Trinity County is
In Trinity and Houston.
Trinity and Houston. We hunt them
Hell,
both.
even a little bit in Cherokee.
Yeah, we do hunt up there.
A little bit in Cherokee.
At the northern part of it.
But all those areas we just described are huge areas. Lots of different entrances to different spots.
And with a lot of people too.
But I'm going to tell you right now,
A lot of people
I'll
hunt.
drive all the way down and back out if I see a certain number of people down in there.
Oh, I'll leave.
You know,
I'll go find somewhere where they're not.
Yeah.
And then I'll look at my map. I'll mark that spot, and then I'll look at my map, and I'll go over to another spot, see how far I am, and be like, well, most of these guys are probably less than 500 yards from the truck.
Yeah.
So if I can access a back way and come in to where they've actually pushed pressure to, that's the spots that we look for.
You know, and in the morning when you're hunting, you know, get up high, up on a creek bottom, because them deer are going to be running them creeks, because you know your scent is low. It's down in them creeks early in the morning, and they'll run them creeks.
They do.
You know, so
Well, he says get up high, and I say get down low behind a bush. We got
I'm
a couple different ways that we
yeah,
do it. We're
like-
both successful.
like me.
He'll be way up in the tree, and I'll be down there hunkered down in the
I'll
creek
be-
somewhere behind
I'll
a
be
bush.
20 foot. Yeah, I'm 260 pounds, 6'2", and I'll be 20 foot plus in the air. I don't care.
Yeah, escape routes from pressure. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a very good way to put it. If you find those,
Mm-hmm. And here's
if you find
another
it,
thing.
there's going to be deer there. I mean,
A lot of people ain't just gonna go deep in the national forest driving to get to their spot.
well, sometimes you can't.
When you enter the national forest, a few hundred yards in, you start seeing trucks parked. You know,
Yeah.
you get to the back there ain't a whole lot of
No, there's not a whole lot of traffic.
a whole
back
lot of
there.
traffic. You know what I mean? Because people ain't wanting to drive that far back.
I
Don't
never
be
see.
scared.
I never see nobody.
Yeah.
I'll hunt midweek,
You know, and that's the
midday,
thing.
midweek.
I'll hunt weekend, and I will not hunt a spot that somebody's at.
No, because you don't know where they're at, and that's good etiquette too.
You know, we had hunters walk up on us last year,
Walk right by us.
and I had some walk by me, and I told them that I had another hunter down to the right.
They went on.
They literally walked all the way down there, passed him up, passed right by him, walked right by him,
Yeah.
and got down in there.
Which
You're
I mean,
messing up the hunt
they were
for
going to their
everybody.
spot. I mean, that's
You're
That's-
messing up the hunt for everybody.
that's part of public land, though. The way it is.
I mean, there's got to be some kind of etiquette. You know, you need to respect. You know,
Yeah, respect has a lot to do with it.
you know.
That good karma come back around to you one day.
Yeah. You got 160 inch deer on the wall in there for it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
You guys on public land, you guys who are talking about it here, we only got with just a few people watching. But listen, this is a YouTube only show. This is not on Facebook. This is not on our Texas Shark Radio deal. This is something new that we're going to do maybe on Wednesday night. If you guys want to continue it, little pop-up shows where we just talk about different stuff, you know.
we'll talk about the hunt from the prior weekend and going into the weekend ahead.
Public and private. Oh, so we're going to talk about scouting private too.
Yeah.
So it's important to scout your private land because I have private land. These stands have been, well, I've moved some, but stands have been set up for years, literally years. And those deer will figure that out.
Yeah.
They will figure you out. So it's important to scout around your stand and see if them deer have cut you off. A lot of times, that's what I like to call it, cut you off. They cut you off somewhere. They go around you,
Yeah.
do a little cut or a little draw or a little patch or something where they can't see that stand and you can't see them from that stand.
Oh, speaking of stand, you got people taking pop-ups into the national forest. Let me tell you something that I learned from prime experience with this. I had a rhino pop-up that I took to the national forest. Bro, it don't matter if you got brush all behind you and around you, they see you from a mile away. You look different. You stand out.
Yeah.
And if you think you're going to get down there and brush your little pop up in, somebody's going to come down there and find it on public land, and they're going to take it.
That's a good point. They will take that stuff on private. Climbers work good.
Climbers is your best friend in the national forest.
I went to ground.
Yeah.
I'm a ground hunter.
Up on the top of a ravine.
I'm a ground hunter.
Looking down into a creek bottom.
That goes back to the midday thermal deal. I can hunt the ground in the midday when the thermal and the humidity is lifting scent.
Mm-hmm.
It's not traveling down and out around me. It's going up above me.
Yep.
That's important. On good days like that, I try to ground hunt a spot, and then those deer don't even know you're there.
Yep.
There's no change of landscape or scenery.
And when you're out there scouting, man, be looking for rubs and scrapes. And,
you got to look for activity.
Because the time you're starting to scout, these deer are losing the felt. There's going to be rubs everywhere, or velvet rather. There's going to be rubs everywhere. Look for those signs. Scrapes on the ground. You gotta be real. Don't be just in total.
Don't go to somewhere as easy for you to hunt.
Yeah, man.
That's another rule.
It's not going to work out.
If you're going in there and you're looking for somewhere that you can see, that's good for you, that you feel comfortable accessing in and out, that's easy, it's probably not the right spot.
Whatever you feel comfortable with,
it's totally opposite.
The deer do not.
So get somewhere where you think, I can't see nothing. It's okay. That trail's there. They're running it. You're going to have a 4 to 5 second glimpse at him when he comes through there. That's public land hunting. Get down, get where they're at. Well, I get down. They get up over them, which is good. It works. These guys are successful in tree stands. I've used them. I'm going to stay my butt on the ground. Not that I'm scared of them. It's just I feel like I have more options on that ground.
If you're using a climber,
especially in a wind change situation.
Try not to use one on a dang oak tree.
Yeah.
Them pine trees is soft bark. So
and a lot of people will tell you different. A lot of people will tell you different.
If you
can't get a bite
on it, if you
can't
move
get
it just a little bit, it's coming on a hook.
Yeah, no, that pine tree bites them stands for sure.
So,
but yeah, back to private land. Scout your private land around your stand. Set up a ladder stand. Set you up a pop up. Set you up something around there, and get you another stand around your something mobile that you can move as an ambush purpose on your private land. You'll have a lot more luck than just going sitting in the stand saying, "Oh, I didn't see nothing today. Nothing come eat my corn. Nothing come to my salt lick block. Nothing eat my oats." Well, at that point, it's your responsibility as a hunter to get out and go hunting. And sometimes they're not going to come to you.
We got a buddy that he loves to still hunt. For anybody that don't know what that is, that's just being as quiet and stealthy as possible when you're walking through the woods. He loves to still hunt. He will walk roads or down in the woods. Skidder trails, not roads, just skidder trails. And he's been quite successful. He's had a whole bunch of deer run up on him from still hunting. So, but you're gonna have to get down in the woods. You're gonna have to get down there.
Yeah, you got to get with them to get. You got to be with them to get them.
You got to be amongst them.
Got to get amongst them and say, "I'm going to get down there amongst them."
That's right. You got to get amongst them.
But there's a right way to do that too.
I'll tell you something. I'm totally against, and that's smoking your clothes before you go on a hunt.
Yeah, I've never.
And I've heard
a lot of people do
people
that.
Smoking their clothes.
Well,
because they're used
I
to
smoked cigarettes for 25
and,
years, and I played the wind and the thermals, and I'm guilty of. I've lit a cigarette up in my stands or in.
Hey, people do it all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
And I've still killed deer. Yeah. Sometimes I killed deer with a cigarette burning when I was a young man. I don't smoke cigarettes no more. I puff on a vape a little bit, but I used to lie. I'd be sitting there smoking. Hunting, I smoked 3 or 4 cigarettes.
Yeah.
Wind's perfect, going back behind me or out of my area. And I'm gonna say this: I don't know how well that scent spray stuff works. I know it does work some, but if you're playing the wind, you can go out there smelling any way you want to.
Yeah. No, if you're playing the wind,
if you play the wind right, you got the scent game beat. You fool his nose, you can usually fool his eyes. His eyes are easy to fool. His nose is what's hard to fool.
Yeah.
Especially on them bigger, mature deer that we're talking about. So, but going back to fishing, somebody asked about fishing a while ago. And Walter, he don't surf fish a whole lot.
Nope.
Well, we got a train coming by, Walt.
I will.
That's right.
Huh?
We got a train coming by.
Oh yeah, man.
We live by a train track. So.
You'll quit blowing here in about a minute.
Yeah, we go by. Goes by pretty quick. Get right on here, Mark.
I think he's got one more blow before.
Alan says on private, I hunt around the edges of food plots and feeders. See more mature. Yeah, they skirt them edges. Absolutely. That goes back to just what we were saying. They do skirt them edges like that. For sure. But no, going back to fishing, the redfish are fixing to kick off big time. It's October, and they call October Red October. So you guys are going to go fishing. The reds are fixing to be in that surf wide open, especially after this cool front coming next week. I thought we would have an appearance by Ty by now, but doesn't look like he's going to get on. Let's message him, see what he's doing.
Like right now, I got a big problem with some hogs, man. Janky deer, small 8-point, and a lot of hogs. I'd imagine everybody's having those same problems. You know, how do you get them out? Just unload them.
Hard work.
Yeah, unload them.
Never ending hard work.
Mhm.
That's really all I can say.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't look like we're going to get an appearance from Ty tonight.
Let's talk about the rut real quick.
Rut?
Yeah, let's talk about the rut.
It's a little too early to talk about the rut.
I
People
know
talk about the rut too early
a
sometimes.
couple weeks, you know, they'll be going in like a pre-rut scenario. You know, end of October.
We're still a good 4 weeks from
You know,
we're still a good month away
You
from a
know,
good rut.
you always catch pictures of them chasing those.
Checking.
Checking those.
Check and chase is two different things.
Yeah.
You will have your bucks in that area in the next couple of weeks that will go to checking their does. Yes, you're going to have that. Rut, I'm always a firm believer, especially hunting mature deer, the teams in November.
Yeah. Even though
And it's a legendary time for me.
No, you killed yours on the 11th.
No.
Yeah.
Well, real close.
Yeah,
Real
it's
close to the
11th,
teams.
right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's building up to that.
Oh, yeah.
At that
Yeah.
point.
The teams in November, man.
Yeah.
That's if you're killing mature deer, and I'm gonna tell I'll tell y'all how I know this for the few that are still here watching. There's not a lot of people here. I worked on a ranch that I worked on had taken kill records for 40 years. Texas A&M got the kill records, was studying the rut. One thing that they found was that the biggest, maturest deer on that property over a 40-year span were killed in the teens of November. You're talking about 40 years of data that proves that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where the term comes from, the teens in November.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the magic time of year.
Yeah.
That's when it's going on. Some both those have already been bred. You got other bucks moving in from other territories chasing those. It's like the peak. It's the peak of it.
Mm-hmm.
He said first weekend in December. I mean, that's that. So you talk about the rut. First weekend in December, if you had a doe come in mid-October, late October, she's coming back in.
Mm-hmm.
The does that didn't breed will come back in late. So you do have that post rut, a rut during post rut, and those are your what I call mop up does that didn't take.
Mm-hmm.
That is the young does that just keep running.
Mm-hmm.
They run themselves to death running. They don't really know what's going on.
Yep.
They cycle back in December.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder what it's like to hunt in the Sam Houston.
Never hunted it.
That's what you know.
There's some guys that do. Oh, Rudy, he hunts it pretty heavily. Some other guys on some of them pages do. So yeah, it's a good. There's good deer that's killed in there every year.
Yeah, it's a decent sized piece of property.
I don't think it compares to the Davy Crockett.
Not even close. No.
I wouldn't. The Davy Crockett is almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost on legendary status.
And then right in the middle of the Davy Crockett, you got the Alabama Creek.
Right, the wildlife management area.
You're right.
Or you can kill does in there.
Type 2.
Yeah.
Type 2, you know, so. And then everything that surrounds it is all hunting clubs.
Yeah, and there's so many feeders on the Davy Crockett line.
Yeah.
And that's another point when you scout. You say don't hunt the people, but if you have a hunting club that has feeders near, you can almost bet them deer are coming through it. They're coming through there. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's fine. I mean, we ain't saying get up on nobody's land or property.
No, absolutely not.
Yards out there.
150 yards is what the rule states.
Yeah,
and if you find a trail that those deer are coming down to and from those food plots on private land, and you're 150, 200 yards down that trail,
yep, there ain't nothing wrong with it.
And them hot does are going to travel them trails back into them food sources.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's common sense. That's nothing wrong with that.
That's good.
I'm not cutting nobody off.
No.
You're not. I mean, at
that's
that
good.
point,
That's good hunter etiquette.
Sure. Oh, it's 150 yards off the fence line.
Privacy.
Sure.
You know, I mean,
you're in a national forest. It's 150 yards off private line or road line.
Mm-hmm.
So, as long as you're playing by those rules,
yeah.
There ain't nobody to do.
Nobody can say nothing, man.
And just because he's got him on camera on that piece of property,
mm-hmm.
you can't lay claim.
As soon as he crosses,
you can't lay claim.
He's public property.
There's been problems with that before.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right. So
you cannot lay claim to that. Well, I got a message back from Ty. He gave me a question mark. It's like Ty. This was his idea, by the way, tonight. So this was Ty's idea to do this. A Wednesday night pop-up show, just on YouTube. Well, we're trying to build our YouTube up. So you guys that are here with us, y'all be sure to give us a subscribe. Follow, whatever. Subscribe.
Yeah.
So when we do go live on Wednesday, you get the notifications or whatnot. We knew there wasn't going to be a whole lot of guys over here.
You know, for us, man,
sorry.
We're just old country boys for the most part. You know, we love the area we live in, and just so happens the National Forest in any direction is 30 minutes max to get to the National Forest. So we're lucky in that aspect of it. But,
there's 600,000 acres within an hour and a half drive of where we're at, and then there's 400 miles of beach within. I mean, I can be at the beach 2 hours from here.
Yep.
So I mean, I utilize all of it.
You know, and
if it comes down to shark fishing or hunting, most of the time I'm loading my shark gear up there.
Yeah.
You already know that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you already know.
Oh yeah.
Sharkathon's coming up. So the biggest tournament of the year, Sharkathon, is coming up the same weekend as Youth Weekend.
Yep.
But I can't do my kids like that.
Well,
my kids love the hunt, man.
Already, I mean, you've killed a deer it's massive. I mean, it's going to be hard in your lifetime.
Yeah, I'm still hunting that 12-foot shark
to beat that deer.
That's my 12-foot shark.
Yeah.
In comparison.
Yeah.
I'm still hunting that 12-foot.
Yeah, that's what it would be.
I'm trying to break that 12-foot mark.
Yeah. Like me, if I'm offered that same decision, I'm going hunting.
Yeah, for sure. No, I already know. If it's hunting season, I'm going fishing. I'm not calling you.
No.
I'm not calling you to go.
And
not unless we're going to hunt some crappie or something somewhere. I know you're not going shark fishing.
I'm going to tell you right then, if we going crappie fishing, brother, I'm down.
Yeah, that's another subject we can talk about too.
Woo-wee.
Over here we can talk about more things than we can, like I said, for you that are here. Texas Shark Radio on our Facebook is going to stay that. these pop-up shows can be about any subject. Tonight,
Any subject, yeah.
tonight some people recommended talking about hunting, so we're talking about hunting tonight.
Yeah.
So we can talk about anything you guys want to, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you got questions about hunting, man. I mean, we learn something new every day. Every day. You know, so we know what works for us out here. And it's been successful, obviously. You know. So yeah, it works for us.
Well, it doesn't look like Ty's going to jump on here tonight, and that's okay because he's with his family. He had some stuff come up, but I mean, I think we had a pretty good little sit down chat tonight. You know, it's a work night, school night for everybody. Kids, my kids are in there running wild and stupid. So yeah, but we'll go ahead and call it a good night. We thank you guys that come over here and talk to us. We hope that we gave y'all, a few that are watching. We hope that we gave y'all a few pointers about things and may help you be more successful. And you're more welcome to inbox me. I bet I talked to 10 or 15 guys this week about hunting after we talked about it on our show.
Yep.
So, yeah, man. A good question for you. When do y'all like to take does off of the property? Well, for us here in our county, we have till the weekend of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And then in management areas, National Forest, you have to apply for the tags. So my meat deer are usually taken
first 2 weeks.
Yeah. Usually my kids do that way.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the last several years, my kids have done that. I haven't. Have I even killed a deer in the last 2 years?
I don't think
Have
so.
you killed?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I haven't killed a deer in 2 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm on a dry streak.
Yeah.
I got to get back on there.
Yeah.
And I haven't had my kids, do the does for us. I prefer to take them early. I hate to kill them a bred doe. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, I definitely
I do agree with that. Now, you do have a late youth season that the state started, 2 weeks for youth.
Yeah.
My kids do hunt. They do kill a doe here and there. I try to tell them to kill the yearlings.
Yeah.
Just to use good meat deer. But they also hunt to try to kill a buck slipping around. But if we're running out of meat, or so to say, they'll take one. But no, I don't like to. Some of the ranches that I worked at, I had to. And one thing that we had to do is we had to, and this is not too graphic, but we had to take the fetus out and have a little measuring board that you put it on. And then you take those measurements and you convert those measurements to dates. It's all wrote out.
Mm-hmm.
The measurements are their growth, right? So if that measurement on there will take you to a date in this little deal after you dissect it, then that's the date of conception for that doe. And what we would do is we had to mop up on our doe tags, so we had to here's Ty. We had to each year on those ranches, those half-inch ranches are 20,000 acres, so you have to take your does out.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the year, literally, dude, I mean, me and Freddie, we killed 30, 40 does at the end of the season just to keep our ratio right.
Right.
And what we would do is we would turn that data over, then that would give us a pinpoint on our rut. On our dead rut, and
then the doe to buck ratio.
And here's the one thing we learned, and biologists explained this to us. You have your rut, and your rut happens at one time, and this is what I mean by that. 80 to 90% of the does are going to breed within a very couple days of each other, and I'll tell you why that is. And he explained this to me, and I explained this to y'all. The fawns, when they hit the ground in the spring, have a better rate of survival if they all hit the ground at one time from predators.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's the beat, and also that time of year you have coyotes that are pupping.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so these coyotes are hunting these fawns, and the rut happens so close together for survival rate in the spring. A lot of people don't know that. I never knew that until that biologist told me that. And so 80 to 90% of your deer will breed within 3 days of each other.
Yeah.
And it was proven year after year after year of doing that fetal data on the bred does.
Yeah.
When we took the measurements of the fetuses, it told us our conception dates. So we literally had the rut pinpointed in that 20,000 acres.
I'll be dang. That's crazy.
And usually it was right there close. Either some years it would swing depending on the weather and time change of where we're at in the universe.
Yeah.
I guess those shortening of the days can vary.
Yeah.
3 or 4 days this way, 3 or 4 days that way, but it was always like last couple of days of October into the first couple of days of November was the main breeding in that area.
Yeah.
Ty, you want to come on or what? Can you hear us? He's here. He just jumped in. There he is. I see his face. That must mean yeah. Let's see what he's got to say.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Ty? Man, my volume's not working on my computer real good. I can't hear very well tonight. But me and Walter, we're sitting here talking together, so we haven't really needed it. He's scared. Yeah, he's scared. All right. See, Alan said he's seen the same. He heard the same thing from their biologists that rut is set for the spring. Sets them up for success in the spring.
And predator hunting.
It's important.
And don't think just because you shoot a coyote comes through and you shoot that coyote and you think to yourself your hunt's over.
No,
you're done for the day. You know what I mean? You done let off a loud shot. No, keep sitting. Things gonna come back through. In 2020, I shot a deer. Actually, a group of hogs came in. I shot a hog first. And I kind of got upset. I was like, man, it was prime time.
Just messed my hunt up.
I just messed my hunt up. And my buddy's like, no, stay sitting. And it wasn't 15 minutes later.
But I can hear Ty now.
A 10-point came out and I shot a 10-point. 15 minutes.
Ty, what's up? I think I can hear you now.
What's up?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you a lot better. Yeah, okay, figured out that problem. What's up, man? What you been doing?
Family dinner, just driving home.
Oh, family dinner.
Alan said he hopes your deer rifle is more successful than your 130.
I don't hunt with a deer rifle anymore, so.
Oh, yeah, he told me the other night, like, I set my rifle down years ago.
What happened? You pick up a bow?
Yeah, he picked up a bow, and he ain't killed a damn deer.
Oh, yeah.
I've killed him.
Huh?
Oh, you froze up.
I think he's on the road traveling.
Yeah.
We lost you, Ty. What'd you say?
I said I've killed lots of deer.
Yeah.
I hunt Llano.
You're in Llano right now?
No, but I hunt Llano. I always kill deer.
Oh,
Yeah, he hunts in Llano. They have property in
Well, I
Llano.
mean,
That's where he's
if you don't get one with your bow out there, I'm sure you can get one with your truck.
from. Yeah.
They're running everywhere, rampant out there.
If you don't see like 15 deer a sit, you did something wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
That must be nice. I may hunt national forest and not see 15 deer a year.
Hey, dude, I hunted in San Angelo.
I'm just looking for one, though.
And I'm telling you right now, we seen deer everywhere, but they knew you were there. They knew.
Oh, yeah.
Alan said he hunts in Junction.
Oh, yeah. Man,
Junction, Texas.
I've been through Junction a bunch of times, man, on my way to West Texas.
All right, I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to jump on my computer.
All right, we're here.
All right.
We'll hang out for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Like he just got on.
Yeah. But that's another thing. Hunting out in, West Central and West Texas.
There's not a whole lot of public land out there, though, is there?
Well, San Angelo area, there's a lot of public land. You gotta have a certain permit to do it. It's shotgun or bow only. And them deer out there, they know you're there.
You shoot slug out there? Rifle shotgun slug?
Yeah.
You shoot shotgun slug?
Yeah.
So as long as it's with a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
I know some areas like
Something to do
Brian
with
and them, Brian Hemphill and them, they go somewhere where they can only shoot a rifle slug.
That's what it is. It's a rifle slug.
A rifle slug?
Yeah. I've been out there with him. Brian
Tons of
Hemphill.
deer and hunters.
Do what?
He said tons of deer and hunters. That's why I apply public land tactics.
Yeah. Out there, man. It's you can feed the deer out there. You can bring corn in.
What?
Yes, sir.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Shut up.
Dude, there's corn.
What?
Dude, you get to so where we was, there was a high fence at the back of it.
Oh no, they didn't.
Dude, all the way down the high fence, as far as
Well, they
the trail
think it was
went,
gonna come out that high
corn,
fence.
corn.
Why would I do
I
that?
don't know. I mean, the deer's up against the fence.
You can't shoot them. Oh,
It was
yes, you
just
can.
crazy, man. There was piles of corn everywhere, man.
That is the
I
nice
thought it
that
was
like
so
that here.
crazy because I ain't never been involved in beating deer on public land.
No,
you
you
know?
can't do that.
And I was like, golly. It didn't matter where you went, there was corn on the ground.
Dude, that is hilarious.
Mhm.
That's actually. Is there a lot of trash and stuff from it too?
No, there
Corn
wasn't a lot of
bags and
trash.
stuff.
So the guy that I went with, he goes every year, J. Roy. Last year, he went to the same spot we went to, and somebody that him, his daughter, and his dad was all in a blind. And somebody popped his tires on his ATV, his
Oh, I
car.
seen that on Facebook.
Yeah, popped his tires.
Oh, they found the guys.
Yeah, well, he ran into him because he heard it happening. He got out of the blind and ran up to the truck where the cart was, or ran up to the cart. And that guy said, "You're in my spot." It's public land. You know what I mean? Anyway, he popped the tires. J. Roy called the cops, and they couldn't find him.
Man, that is absolutely ridiculous, man.
Yeah, you got those kind of people out there.
That's public land stuff.
Yeah. That's the reason you drive around, even if you miss your
I don't understand why.
early morning hunt, you make sure that nobody's in your area.
A lot of times when you go fishing, it's public, and you don't have the same problem that you have on public. Why? I mean, it's still the same. Dude, why do not the same ethics and respect
Dude,
apply to that?
the hunter etiquette, you got a bunch of people out there that really good at shooting guns, really good at shooting bows.
What's up, goons?
They their egos get the best of them, bro. Their egos get the best of them.
Yeah, that's why when I said what I said at the beginning of the show, why I don't pursue hunting like I do shark fishing.
Yeah.
It's because of that.
Mhm.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, these dudes that are involved in shark fishing, dudes that they're solid.
Yeah.
And other than the people that I grew up hunting with or trust, I don't trust a whole lot of people to go hunting with, man. You got firearms, they'll spot burn you, they'll go back to your place, they'll talk your business, I don't understand why it's so different. Dude, people want to go fishing, we go fishing and have a good time.
Yeah.
People want to go hunting, we go hunting, we have a damn argument about something.
Mhm.
It's like, what? Why is this?
Just your close people, you don't.
No, not me and you. We go hunting together, dude, and we don't have no problem.
No,
And with the same way with Mike and Spud. And I mean, there's no, our group, there's no.
We was all raised, just alike, so we have a good camaraderie.
And we respect each other.
Yeah.
That's the deal. We have a lot of respect for each other.
Mhm.
What else? On Fort Hood, you can hunt Fort Hood?
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah.
On Fort Hood, people steal cameras, blinds, all kinds of gear. The game warden's on base, mostly crooked. Had to harass me because I hunted the area he did.
Yeah.
See, I mean,
They're like that, man.
I didn't know you can hunt Fort Hood, Alan.
Whatever you take to the national forest, no matter where you are, expect and leave it.
It's gone.
Expect for it to be
It's
gone.
not going to be there when you get back.
Because just when you think that you have found an area where nobody's been,
There-
I promise you,
Somebody's
10
been there.
people have already been there, man.
It's not finding a spot that nobody's been. It's finding a spot that nobody's going to be at that
That's
time.
right. Nobody's going to use it. That's right.
Lots of big deer there, just lots of bull crap to deal with.
Yeah, I believe that.
I don't understand why it should be like that, man.
I believe that, man.
Do not understand that.
Yep, I believe that.
Uh,
We got new hunters coming in constantly. You
Well,
want to learn.
we had we had a big influx on some of our spots
Yeah,
after we've taken some big deer.
yeah.
After some big deer have been taken out of a spot, word's gonna get around that they seen you trucking there, or that's where it's at.
Mhm.
And during that process, you may have a couple of spots get spot burned
Mhm.
because they think it's over here and it's over here, But usually they're pretty spot on. I hate to say it, but
Ain't there? There's another National Forest Society as well. Leon, ain't it? What it? Leon National Forest.
I don't know. Well,
It was me and you went down in it.
we did.
Yeah.
No, we went to Leon County.
Was
To,
it wrong?
Yeah, it's Leon County. There's a track of the National Forest that's in the southern part of Leon County, which is right above the thicket,
Yeah.
the big thicket. Not the big thicket, the big slope. The slough.
I was thinking we came in from 94. Remember when them guys got stuck down in there? Way down there? You went down in there?
Well, that's another wilderness area.
Yeah, that's one.
Long Pine.
Yeah, Long Pine.
Long Pine Wilderness area.
Yeah.
That's just another wilderness area in there.
Yeah, inside the David Crockett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple wilderness areas inside David Crockett.
Mhm.
And one we hunt, you get your head knocked out by a limb in there.
Yeah.
It's as
Yeah.
crazy as that sound. The timber is so old in there that every time you go, there's limbs just
And
falling.
big slough, just like that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh my
Big
gosh,
slough.
dude, the big slough.
Dude, you gotta be careful where you set it.
And I'm going to tell you right now, you can get in there and get turned around real quick.
Oh, easily.
Especially if you're coming down at dark. You better have
Better have your app on
your app on. That's for sure.
or have your trail
Leave
mark,
you out.
something. I
Because
mean, even with trail markers, I've got off my trail markers before.
because one or two things you're
It
going
gets a little hairy in there.
You're going to hit more woods, or you're going to hit the river. You know, I mean, it's a little nerve wracking down in there. Not so much going in the mornings, but definitely coming out at night.
Oh, I wonder where Ty's at. Maybe he's having difficulties like you are.
Huh?
He's having difficulties like you are.
Yeah, I couldn't get that crap on my phone at all. I'm gonna have to figure it out somehow.
There's a couple good deer taken last week with both.
Yeah,
Couple
but
guys
not
got them.
near as many as what I was expecting.
No, but it is still. I mean,
It's early September, it was
early,
late
man.
September.
Deer season
You know
opened
what I mean?
early this year.
But I was really expecting more deer to be taken than that. More nice bucks. Because people wait, you know, they can't wait till October 1st rolls around. You know, but it was still hot, man. It's hot every day. So when it becomes enjoyable to go hunting is when it starts cooling down just a little bit. It gets you pumped up because in your mind you're thinking that the deer are changing, even though they're not. It ain't time for them yet.
No.
But it's time for you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You get kind of pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what goes back to us saying when you can't hunt, don't hunt.
Yeah.
When it's not right, don't hunt.
Don't do it. You'll be in there for hours and not see nothing.
Yeah.
I promise you.
So anyway, yeah, Ty's not gonna make it on, so we'll go ahead and end the show, guys. We appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. As always, I'm your host for Lukey Smith, Walter Matthews setting in with me tonight. Thanks, Walt, for setting in.
Thank you for having me.
He come in on the last minute, so very spur of the moment deal for him. So yeah, you guys send us some messages during both
Let us
seasons.
know how you feel.
Yeah, let us know how you feel.
Yeah.
We can start doing this more. We have no problem with it.
You know, I love talking hunting.
Yeah, so I mean, we can talk fishing and all kinds of stuff on here. Like I said, it's a little different from Texas Shark Radio.
You know,
So
you'll have to get
yeah.
on the crappie level for me to talk fishing.
Well, we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. We can do it because you know I love chasing damn
Yeah.
crappie for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, as always, guys, Texas Shark Radio. Thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all Sunday. Y'all don't forget about our show Sunday. We got Longcasters coming on. We got our giveaway, Surf Masters, Texas Surf Masters. They're giving away a rod blank for the show, and we're going to have the Longcasters on. We're going to do an interview. Want to be an interview. There'll be a couple live guys on. So, yeah, going to be an interesting show. So we'll see y'all there Sunday night, 7 o'clock, and we'll see y'all back here Wednesday next week on YouTube. So have a good one.